In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the whole idea of MAF training using time or distance. I'm David, aka the plant-powered runner, and after 17 months and over 4,500 kilometers of heart rate training on the roads and the trails, and running the most I've ever run before, 2020 has taught me a few things, such as how to enjoy running again, what it takes to run 100 miles in a week, and what running an ultramarathon feels like. Now, injuries do happen, and since I'm not Superman, I'm now embracing the funk and listening to my body the only way I know how, through storytelling. Here's to 2021. Question of the day: how many hours a week do you like to run? What's your sweet spot? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to know. If you want to know more, if you want to connect with me in other ways, you can see on the left side of the screen. Those are my social media ways that you can connect with me. Facebook group is growing, and it's very active. So if you'd like to be part of the conversation, you can join in there. It's always nice to welcome new members. Most athletes like to train by distance and pace. Running 10 miles at a 5-minute pace. There's two things that you can emphasize with that type of training. And one of them is, if you train by distance, in time, you will speed up and you will complete the course much faster. If you're always concerned about distance and pace, chances are you're going to be running too fast. And while you're running, yeah, you'll get faster and faster, and that distance that you're covering stays static, but you're out on your feet less and less and less. And the other is you end up comparing yourself with where you were a year ago or 3 years ago, or what your friends are completing their 10 kilometers in, or the oars just continue, right? It's like this endless onslaught of comparison-itis. What's going on in the magazine with, the men's age group, the masters, like all these things go through my head. So I like to run based on time. And when you run based on time, I mean, really, who is going to run for an hour and a half and finish on an odd number, right? So when you run based on time and heart rate, one, you know you're running in your aerobic zone. And number two is you will actually see that you get faster over time because the distance that you complete increases, which is kind of a neat thing. Okay, I better find a gas station soon, otherwise I'm gonna be pushing this damn car. Holy, why is it that when you need a gas station, you can't find a gas station? Oh, not this guy again. Man, the job never ends. Gonna go get some food. Oh my gosh, what a day. Busy, busy, busy. I left the house without any food, so I'm literally struggling to stay away from all of the junk food. There's just so much of it. How do you... Oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna go in. I used to eat like iceberg lettuce. I thought iceberg lettuce was like, that was how you had a salad. And so I had all of... Can you believe this? I'm coming back to running again. And I'm documenting this whole crazy adventure, and this is like MAF take 2. What it's like to come back after an injury, after 16 months of Maffetone training, and what it looks like, right? How far have I gone back in my training? What's happened? I'm gonna log it all. I'm gonna create a series, so you want to stay tuned to those videos. More to come on those. But anyways, let's dive in to today's video. Running less can actually benefit you more than running more miles, more kilometers. You may be a husband, you may be a wife, You may be a teenager, you may be in college, you may be in university, whatever it is. Here's the thing. As you train and your workload starts to increase at work or school, you have different commitments, your stress starts to go up a little bit more. When you run into situations like that, what happens is you may start to get lack of sleep because you may have to work longer at work, right? You may have other family commitments that you have to get done. And by doing so, what tends to happen is the amount of time that you have to run slowly starts to decrease. You may actually be running on lack of sleep. And as you run on lack of sleep, what happens is your heart rate starts to rise, right? It's naturally going to be elevated. There has been many studies on PubMed and a number of other places online that you can read where, scientists have actually proven that lack of sleep leads to heart disease, it leads to obesity, it leads to stress, it leads to all kinds of things, right? Hormone imbalances, just, I don't know, take what I'm saying as a grain of salt. I'm just trying to make a point that you need to sleep more. So if you are pushing yourself with your training and you're trying to get in as much training as possible, but you're foregoing the amount of sleep that you need, that's a recipe for disaster, right? Training, as Dr. Maffetone talks about this, training equals work plus rest. And if you don't get that, what kind of training are you doing, right? So make sure that you're going out for a specific type of run and do the run as it was meant to be. And if you have to skip a couple of days, because remember, you need to have rest, right? If it's 1 day a week or whether it's 2 days a week, it doesn't matter. Even though you're training slowly, you still need to have rest because there's other aspects of your life that could be going on that's busy. So on the topic of less is more, here's my little scenario. I like to sleep anywhere from 7 to 9 hours. And for me to sleep 7 to 9 hours, I need to get to bed, fairly early, okay? Let's say if I wake up around 7, right? Either I'm going to bed at 11 or I go to bed at 12. That's what I'm working on, okay? Now, that being said, now to make sure I have enough family time, right? And I'm eating at a good amount of, at time, and I'm making these YouTube videos, and I'm working during the day and evening and weekends, I have to fit things in. And sometimes running isn't part of it, and that's okay. So I tend to have 2 days out of the week where if I need to have a rest day, then I'll pull one of those cards. So if it gets busy on a Monday, I just won't run on a Monday. Running 8 hours a week, that's a sweet spot for me. If I can get upwards to 12, so be it. But I also keep in mind that there are days where I will be having a rest day. And I treat it as whether you like using the word rest or recovery day, it's psychological. Decide which one you want to use and go with it. And one little note that I want to put out here. As you're doing this large aerobic training, right, this base building, it's fantastic. Now, there is a time and a place when that can be removed, and you can lower the amount of miles and kilometers that you're running, and you can slowly start to add in a little bit of speed work. But you got to make sure that you bring down the volume that you're running, and then you can increase some days of the intensity, because you don't want to have both of those things high, because that could be a recipe for disaster as well. Hey, these are all the things I'm learning. This is a journey of me running, figuring out the whole MAF training. And the more I educate myself, the more I learn, the more I want to teach you guys of the experiences that I'm having. And that's what this is. These are just my experiences. These are the things I like to share, right? I'm not a coach. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of those, right? I'm just some dude who likes to run, who likes to bring people together and help us become better runners. What a heck of a day, guys. What a heck of a day. Busy times trying to find properties. I'm getting to a point where I need to find a property for a client that's non-existent. And today I finished off and we were at the lake in Barrie, And sure enough, there were like these huts on the water, these little ice fishing huts. And my client said, "Hey Dave, why don't you go knock on their door over there and see if it's for sale? I may be able to cram my studio apartment furniture in there." Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Welcome to my world. If you'd like to know how I was able to achieve some of the milestones that I was able to achieve in 2020, have a look at these couple of videos here and here. I think you'll really benefit from them. Like I always say, everyone, get out and run.